we'll just wait for 1 more minute just for people to come in. Just to let everybody know, this session will be recorded. I think we'll start now. Thanks very much to everybody joining the session this morning or this afternoon, depends about where in the globe we are. My name is John McDonough. I'm the sales leader for Western Europe for Constellation Consulting Group. On today's session, the topic is going to be market-leading enterprise performance management for SAP ERP clients. This can be featuring Tamer, who's the CIO from Ducab. Ducab are currently an SAP ECC customer, recently implemented Oracle EPM Cloud. So now I'm going to hand over to Henk and then Tamer and then Alp, and they're going to give a quick introduction of themselves. And then I want to give you an overview of Constellation, and we're going to jump right into the session. So Henk, over to you.
So thanks, John. Hello, everyone. My name is Henk van Dorland. I'm a strategy director within Oracle EPM. And yeah, my history is really, I started as an auditor at Deloitte, really seeing a lot of companies working with IT, and that was really triggering myself as well to go into IT. So I spent more than 12, 13 years now in IT, selling software solutions and also as a pre-sales consultant. Now in Oracle for a bit 5.5 years. And yeah, currently in the role as a strategy director for EPM. Thanks.
Over to you, Tamer.
Me or Alp? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Tamer Hamid. I'm the Chief Information Officer of Ducab Group. Actually, we are Ducab. We are a big cable and metal industry, and we are here for the last 40 years in Dubai. And also, I'm working in the region for the last 25 years, actually, in the field of mainly IT. I had an experience on the private equity, healthcare, life science, and now cable industry and manufacturing. So very excited to go with this presentation and looking forward to have a very good discussion. Alp.
Thank you very much. This is Alp. I'm a managing director at Constellation, and I have been working in the field of enterprise performance management solution implementations for the last 20 years or so. And I've led and delivered various implementations of EPM solutions predominantly on Oracle platform. And we are also, as John will shortly explain, one of the largest EPM solution providers in the entire EMEA region. So yeah, let's get started, John. Back to you.
So first and foremost, I'm going to give you a quick overview of Constellation. We've been going for over 20 years, headquartered out of Dubai with offices in the UK, Turkey, USA, India, Lebanon, and Egypt. We cover the full stack of Oracle EPM Cloud, from planning and budgeting, consolidation, management reporting, accounts reconciliation, profitability, cost management, and tax reporting. Only last year, we went live with the TRCS implementation across the Middle East, Asia, and Africa. As you can see in bold, it says advanced level Oracle EPM service expertise. So we were actually the first partner in the world to achieve this certification 3 years ago. For us to achieve this certification, we have to deliver 10 Oracle EPM Cloud projects a year, and our customers have to give us a minimum of 8 out of 10 customer satisfaction. And then this has to be reported back to Oracle. So over the past 3 years, we've just had this certification renewed. We've gone live with over 30 Oracle EPM Cloud projects, and we've got over 30 Oracle EPM Cloud customers over the past 3 years who are happy with the service that Constellation providing. We are still one of only a handful of partners globally to have this certification, and the only partner in EMEA to hold it. So because we've delivered so many projects, we've been able to share best practice across multiple industries. If our customers have various needs, we have referenceability right across the board that we can relay our experiences from previous projects, wherever that may be. Some customers are, like today, an SAP ERP user, whether it's ECC, S/4HANA, or Oracle E-Business Suite, Fusion, or any ERP solution. And then we also have customers who come to us and say, we're still using Excel to do our planning. What can we do next? We want to do some what-if scenario planning. We've got no single source of truth. We've got a consolidation platform and we've got a shortage of skill sets. It's very complex. How can we move to the cloud and benefit from living in the cloud rather than on an on-premise solution? So just a bit more of an overview. So we've successfully delivered some of the most largest and complex EPM projects. We have 150 Oracle EPM focused consultants. We've got over 50 Oracle Cloud customers globally. We've got global delivery experience, vast amount of experience of delivering turnaround projects, and 100% referenceability across the entire Oracle EPM stack. So some of our solutions and services. So we offer advisory, implementation, managed service, training, and health checks. I will touch on some of our industry case studies in the next couple of slides, but touching on our experience, we've developed some solutions and accelerators to reduce the implementation time for our customers. So I'll just touch on a couple of them. So we've developed our own solution for workforce planning, which is multi-country and multi-currency. ESG reporting. We've developed our own ESG reporting solution, and we have fixed price and fixed scope offerings to meet the needs of our customers. Accounts reconciliation, and we like to be the first or one of the first. We've actually taken a customer from Blackline to accounts reconciliation, and also I touched on tax reporting previously, where we've delivered implementation across multi-country and multi-continents. So just to give you a high-level overview of our industries that we cover, we look after FS, real estate, construction, telecom and technology, manufacturing. Within manufacturing, there's sort of several different disciplines: public sector, retail, group holdings, logistics and energy, healthcare, media, automotive, education, facilities management, aviation, construction materials, free zone authorities and fintech. I'm now going to hand back over to Al, and he's going to start off with the session with Tamer and Henk.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you, John.
So I think I'm going to share my screen if you can stop. Sure. Thank you. All right. So when it comes to ERP world, definitely there are two dominant players. So these dominant players, as we all know, are SAP and Oracle. So customers choose their ERP solution based on their industry and based on the best fit solution as compared to their requirements. But when it comes to EPM, on the other hand, the equation changes significantly, right? I mean, so ERP, Oracle, and SAP, I think, have a fair fight, and have I think probably there's more equilibrium over them. But when it comes to EPM, the balance changes significantly. So today we will discuss how we have implemented a very ambitious EPM solution on Ducab's SAP investment, and what kind of achievements we have targeted and achieved with this project. So we have engaged with Ducab back in April 2022, so it's been almost a year now. And the objective was basically to implement on their mature SAP platform, which was SAP ECC, and their Salesforce system, a fully automated EPM solution. So the solution included a connected planning, a financial close and consolidation, a complete MAS, and a profitability and cost management system. Basically, the EPM solution that we offered and provided to Ducab included all these, building blocks. And with this, I'd like to now open the discussion and turn it back to our panelists. And we have, as John introduced, Henk and Tamer. And Henk is the strategy director from Oracle. So I'd like to maybe start asking some questions to Henk and explain how he sees Oracle differentiate themselves from SAP when it comes to EPM, and what kind of difference Oracle can create in enterprise performance management solutions. Can you give us some insights, please, Henk?
Yeah, sure, Alp. So thanks for that question. And let me share my screen to go over a couple of slides to explain how we see the world, right? So especially when it comes to customers that using SAP's ERP system, right? So of course, a couple of things happening right now, and especially when you look into the world of EPM, Enterprise Performance Management, right? A lot of the SAP customers running on ECC or S/4HANA, they probably also have, let's say, BPC now for their planning and budgeting cycles or consolidation cycles, right? And as we know, as communicated by SAP, also earlier in the day, that was 2024, now it's 2027, the end date of the solution BPC, right? So why now take action? I think it's really important to look around, right? So to have a good view and a good understanding which kind of solutions fits really good with your organization and helps you to transform your finance organization towards the future. So within SAP, BPC is not really the strategic line anymore, right? So they will see that as two different kinds of approaches, right? So it is, let's say, for planning, the SAP Analytics Cloud, right? That's what they are proposing, especially for the customers running on S/4HANA. And also for, let's say, the consolidation side of the world, they are using SAP and then group reporting, also on S/4HANA. And what we see with those customers, when we speak to customers that using SAP as an ERP system now, a lot of them are very busy with the transformation to S4, right? So they don't spend much time right now on BPC or replacing it or implementing other solutions. And I think Ducab is really a good company that have done it already, right? Have made the decision up front to be, let's say, really in a competitive position going forward to transform finance early in the time to be ready when it comes to the point that you need to take action, right? So that's really the world of SAP, right? Let me now talk to you about how we as Oracle see the world, right? So we will really redefine the Office of Finance, right? So make finance great and make finance ready for the future. So what does that really mean? So what we see in a lot of companies is that a lot of, let's say, business groups are really separate, right? So there are a pillar approach. If you look at sales or look at supply chain, there are also different silos within the company. We believe that all those silos need to work collaboratively together, right? So it's a team effort in the full company to guide the way forward, right? And for that information, you need to really collaborate with all teams together to come to a moment in time that you don't be the bookkeeper anymore and really focusing on the details, that you can be really the strategic advisor for the company going forward and guide them and advise them in the way that needs to be going forward. Of course, that is not done just on, let's say, old technology anymore, right? So we need new technologies and things like artificial intelligence and machine learning to help as well the Office of Finance moving towards, let's say, the future. We believe that a lot of those now manual things that are doing in the Office of Finance can be done automatically by the system. And people that went to school for many, many years, have a lot of experience in this sector, can then look to the system and say, yeah, that's right, that makes sense to me. Or it doesn't, and I make some small changes to it to make sure that the world looks fine to me, right? And of course, when it comes to new technology, enable trust and confidence is the most important thing, right? People need to trust the system, need to trust their outcome. And in order to do so, we explain as well how our models work, right? So that they can rely on the models, rely on the software to do those tasks for you and really spend more time doing the value added activities instead of doing non-value added activities, right? So we want to reduce manual effort, use the system in a different way to make sure that the system operates for you and really helps you to make those intelligent decisions going forward and be ready for the future. So how does that look like within Oracle, right? Within Oracle, we do have a very most comprehensive EPM cloud platform that's right here in the market, right? There's no one else that can do the same as we can do in the full breadth and depth of business processes, right? So when you look at this circle, that's the way we usually, explain how the Oracle EPM's enterprise suite looks like. We do see in the very middle those business units, or let's say the business groups like operations, HR, sales, etc. And in the very middle, you see finance, right? So we believe, and we do see that happening already with companies that need to really tie it in together and collaborate and make sure that all those groups use the same information to make the decisions going forward. to be able to do so, we also need to connect planning, right? So if you look at connected planning nowadays, all those departments have an input to deliver to make sure all those plans are collaboratively together created and is one version of the truth, right? So it is about sales planning, HR and workforce planning, also IT planning. All those kind of plans need to come together to one single plan and make sure that's the accurate information to steer the company. When you looked at connected planning as well, we do see things like profitability and cost management, right? Especially in these times of economic uncertainty, we want to really know where we spend our costs and how we can make our profitable business, right? Or make sure that the business is profitable going forward. And when you look at, let's say, the below side of the wheel, we see close with confidence, right? Closing the books, we have done it on many, many years already with all the companies that we know, from ERP towards EPM. It's most of the times very time consuming. It's a lot of double work to do. We do believe we can do something like continuous close or automatically close, right? So within our solution, we have, let's say, a close module and a consolidation module, but we do believe that also AI and ML is really going to be taking place here as well to make sure that a lot of those manual effort that is doing now can be done by the system. Also things like account reconciliation, right? Those kind of things can be easily done by the system, and only the things that really point out as a thing that's not went well, we need to take action on manually and make sure that it is going the right way. And also in close with confidence, we see things like tax reporting, right? We all know Pillar 2 is coming along, right? So new compliance we need to comply with. Within Oracle, Pillar 2 is already coming to the platform this year to make sure that you're ready for Pillar 2 as well within EPM. And then when you look at those, let's say, business units, they don't, of course, always need to report out, but they also want to have a better insight in all those data, right? So we embed a lot of dashboards and capabilities of reporting into the EPM Enterprise Suite to make sure that you have all the information by hand to make the right decisions going forward. And of course, as already explained, we as Oracle invest a lot of our R&D money into artificial intelligence and machine learning to really make sure that we have a platform fit for the future for your organization. So when you look at the world from an Oracle perspective compared to SAP, right, to really come to your question, Alp, it is that I think this picture shows it really well, right? So as already explained in the wheel and as said as well, that we have the most breadth and depth of the platform. This picture really captures that, right? So we see on the left-hand side, Oracle EPM, on the right-hand side, the SAP EPM offerings that they have, and in the middle, let's say the business processes that we know, right? So like connected planning, profitability, cost management, etc. I think it's good to mention here. So on connected planning, as already described, is that they have SAP and then analytics, right? So the SAP analytics side of things, that's going forward for SAP. Group reporting is there as well if you look at consolidation and close. But for a lot of other stuff, right? So doing, let's say, tax reporting or doing just narrative reporting like your 20Fs or your annual reports or whatsoever, if you're using SAP, you need to go to a third party, right? Like Blackline, Vertex, or Workiva to comply with all business processes to a one single platform, right? But it's not a single platform. It's really all tick and tied together with different versions and integration issues and all those kinds of stuff, right? So, and of course, you as a partner, you know that very well, right? When you have customers having a landscape like this, it can be working for them, but most likely it can be a nightmare as well because data will change, outlines will change, but also the integrations need to be up and running. And especially when you're in the closing period or you need to report out to the market, you don't want to have issues with this, right? So therefore, we have all things in one single cloud platform, and we believe that's the best approach going forward. So right now we have about 6,700 customers. It's a momentum on the end of Q2 and on our fiscal year. So it's November-ish last year. So I think we are now approaching around 7,000 customers in the cloud, right? So that's really a very big number, and customers in 80 plus countries and then over 20 plus industries, right? So it's not only the platform that's really breadth and depth, but also the companies that uses our EPM platform are in a lot of industries and different industries as well. So, Al, probably something else that you want to discuss about the EPM Enterprise Platform.
Great. I mean, I was going to ask one more question regarding, the perception, right? I mean, so when I go to a customer who's been accustomed to using SAP as an ERP solution, they always approach with this perception of, if I bring a non-SAP product over my ERP, then I would, start facing issues, integration problems, performance issues, so on and so forth. I mean, what is your view on this, Henk? I mean, how SAP customers are positioned in Oracle?
Yeah, very good question. Thanks for that, Help. So I think it's very good to understand that, let's say, half of these 6,700 customers are SAP customers, right? So, of course, we have also our Oracle ERP customers using EPM, definitely. We have also Workday Finance customers using our EPM solution, but half of our install base on EPM is SAP backbone, right? So they're using an ERP system from SAP. Can be ECC, like Ducab, can be S4 as well. So that's really good to understand. And if you have a glance on the logos that we do see companies in here as well that are using SAP, right? So Philips is a good one that we see in this one as well, and some others as well using SAP as a backbone. So EPM, let's say, as a starting point, of course, coming from an IPM background as yourself as well, right? So that's the foundation where we have built the EPM platform above. We always had the vision that, of course, it's great to really integrate with Oracle ERP and EPM, but we definitely see as well that there's a different world out there as well, with also customers that using SAP as a backbone, but really need to have a very good and very strong EPM solution on top of that. And that's why we want to play a very big role. And we have great integration facilities towards the SAP backbone, as you know as well, because you have already implemented it many, many times with SAP customers, right? So no hesitation there. A lot of customers went before you, like Ducab as well. Yeah, I think we have a very good solution on top of SAP for, let's say, the EPM strategy going forward for the company, definitely.
Thank you very much, Henk. And I'm sure Tamer will also share his experience, his share of experience when it comes to these integration capabilities and how Oracle can perform over SAP. So let's now yes.
Yeah.
So let's now get the focus on you, Tamer. So
let me don't mind. Let me share my presentation, please.
Sure. Can you?
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes, it's just coming up right now. All right. Okay, Tamer. So over to you. Maybe if you can start with the,
I'll just go quickly through the presentation. I'll not take much, but I just need to let everybody understand quickly about Ducab. We are in Ducab, established in 1979. We are close to more than 45 years company. We are one of the largest cable manufacturer in the region. Definitely, we are the first one in the UAE and in the Gulf region, and we are one of the biggest in the Middle East actually, and we consider ranking one of the biggest worldwide as well. We have a lot of projects. I don't need to name these projects. Maybe some of the audience understand about this project. Some of them they are not. We are the one who already supply for Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. We are the one who supply for Dubai Metro. We are the one who supply for Burj Al Arab Expo 2020. A lot of projects. If I name it, it will take the session time. We are present and sell in more than 44 countries worldwide, and we are present in 7 countries worldwide. We have a rapidly growing product. Every I can say every year we have a list of new products we are launching, and we are developing ourselves. On the last 3 years, we start developing ourselves on also in the energy and key chain services. I can say that we are developing and we are expanding horizontally and vertically at the same time. One of the projects also we are going internationally, and we are planning, and that's one of the reasons or one of the things which we are developing right now, that we are moving to have a very good international footprint worldwide. Why we went for EPM? I'll just take it in a very quick points. We need to realize our our power, what we have already on the finance. We need to have a full understanding of our business, of our strengths, of our weaknesses. Then we need to move ahead to make a projection and to have a full understanding of the future, and to see if we are going to what we have to do in the next 2 years, on the next 3 years, understanding our capabilities, understanding our power from the different ways in the finance and the HR and the production and the supply chain. So we need to understand our capability, our powerful. So we need, then we can look to the projection in the future, where with this power and with this capability I can go where. And then definitely what kind of product I need to sell, what kind of product will give me profitability, what kind of understanding of our capacity and my utilization of this capacity. All of this, I can say it's corporate provision, it's corporate overview about what we already have across the whole organization, and I can realize everything in my organization and I can see it from one screen. That was very important point. Projection and the planning, that was the second very much important point. Then according to this, I can plan to the expand and I can plan to the future. Plan to the future means that, do I need to have another capacity line? I need to increase my capacity. I need to increase my product lines. I need to have more manpower. So it gives me a full projection of what we are planning to do and how we have to do it. And it's precising on the where I have to develop myself. So it's not going to be haphazarding. Nobody's just saying that, okay, we need 100 workers and 3 supervisors. Based on what? So EPM is going to give you exactly how much you want, or how many people you want, and where you want to put them, and what will be the output of them. So it's precise budgeting and planning as well. This is very briefly about why we coming here to the, and I'm very happy with what already presented about the SAP comparing, but this is a quick from my understanding, just for everybody to understand. I'm more than experienced on SAP more than 18 years now. Experience on SAP, started a long time back journey. And even I started with the SAP BBC, but unfortunately, using BBC, implementing BBC, it was not that much or that what expected by anyone in the organization when we implemented, and we start using it as just a tool to present the data from SAP. So we are using everything, dumping the data from all the modules, coming to the point of integration between SAP and non-SAP modules, but I'll come to this later. So what we are doing, we are dumping all the data from all the SAP modules, putting it in templates on Excel, modifying this one, and put 100 lines under, adjusting and modifying the data, and push it back to PBC on SAP. So it was not a realistic system. It was not a system where it can be very clear to everyone, or depending on this one. Definitely, everybody understand the screen interface, and it's non-friendly interface. The maintenance of it and the upgrade of it, we're using the basis module to control and to make the workflows and the approval and all of this. It was very much complicated actually, and whoever works on this, he can realize what I'm talking about. Coming to the last point, which is the integration. Integration was absolutely nightmare, starting from the beginning, going to the implementation. Putting in mind, despite this application, BBC is an SAP application, an SAP module, and connecting it to the SAP ERP itself, it was another nightmare to happen. And even I can say that after 3 years of using it, I think we didn't reach to the right conclusion. Coming to the Oracle, and when I joined actually Ducab, and when we decide that we are going to have a planning and consolidation system on Ducab, so I put SAP as a comparison, but I totally was not putting this. But I start looking for Oracle and another application, and actually I get very much amazed with the EPM and what EPM is providing. And I can tell that EPM is giving you everything in one screen. I mean, you can see the whole organization from top, from bottom, from left, from right. You can see all the organization 3D view out of one screen. I'm talking about the management, specifically the management. And from the management point of view, the management team was always on the management table. They were getting data from different areas. You can get data from finance application, you get data from business intelligence application, you get data from HR application, so you get different data. This data is not a unique, and to put 100 lines again, this word, which is unique data, which is, you can say the number which is coming from the finance related to the payroll, it's different than the number of the payroll coming from the HR. And that's, I believe that everybody can face this everywhere. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's what everybody is facing across the business. But here we have a very good an EPM. We already have one screen which everybody can see everything, and everybody can realize whatever is happening in the organization. I mean, the integration, yes, there is a challenges definitely in the integration. I cannot say that it's very easy or straightforward, but at the end of the day, we have a good integration right now across the whole organization, across the whole functionality on the organization. So we grab all the data to one platform. Everybody is working on this platform. Everybody is seeing the projection of this platform, and we have a very strong output out of it. Definitely one of the good things, I think, specifically on the EPM module, which Oracle already started doing it, which is selecting a niche partners using or dealing with EPM. So I can say that most of the partners I already realized and work with was very strong and very good, but definitely one of them, and one of the most strongest one, and only specified on this part, was Constellation, which we are working with. That's a quick part of what's the benefit. Now what we achieve, let me come to the achievement. First of all, what we achieve here is, and that's most of the people working on the finance, they can realize what I'm talking about, consolidation of the consolidation of all the financials across the organization. I can pick anyone, if anyone not using a proper tool, they can close it using ERP or whatever before 10th or 12th of the month, which we are doing here with EPM. I can guarantee to everyone that maximum, with a lot of complications we are having, we are closing maximum on 5th of each month. So the consolidation is happening very fast, automatically, and I'm very happy with that Oracle is coming up with the ML and AI technology and investing on this, which is going to help us a lot also in this regard. The second part is the most important, is the MIS report, Management Information System report. It's one report. Everybody is seeing this report with whatever the different details, different data available, but it's one report across the organization, which everybody is looking only to this report. It's one number, one financial number, one HR number, one supply chain number, one production and operation number. So it's one report, everybody, and it's generated automatically. It's getting the data from the EPM and generate this MIS report automatically out of the system. That's that's two major achievement we did. Coming to the strategic achievement, which we already did as an organization, which we already established the budgeting and planning part. Budgeting usually is a very hectic, business or transaction the financial team is doing and the organization itself is doing. I can say that it's happening automatically on EPM. Again, it's happening in a very smooth way. Everybody is getting the data, just putting the budget elements, and automatically it's calculating and giving the proper budgeting. The good thing here is it's not the budgeting itself. It's this budgeting, which we did it in the EPM, it helps us a lot in providing something called budgeting control. So with using the budget control or practicing the budget control, it gives us a very, very important provisioning of how we can control the spend. And this controlling of the spend, it end up, and I can guarantee you that it end up according to our initial calculation, from 15 to 20% savings on the spend. I can guarantee this. So that's giving you a very good, without having the budget, you cannot practice proper budgeting, you cannot practice the budget control. And definitely the planning one, which is giving us a very good projection for at least 1 year or 2 years, how it's going to be and how his business is going to be. So I think this is one of the most important achievement which we already have. Coming to the final part, which is the challenges which we are facing, I'll not talk much. I already talked much, but I will just take it in a very, very smooth parts. Number one is the data unification, cleaning, governing, complying the data. That's the most important. That's the most important part and most important challenge, which I think every organization should do it by themselves, and they should pass through this one by themselves. Rather than this, I think EPM project, the structure itself, you have to understand exactly, to doing the structure itself, the organization should understand exactly what they are expecting from EPM. EPM, again, EPM is an ocean. Whoever is going to implement or who implemented EPM before and work with EPM is an ocean. And if you're trying to dive on this ocean, you cannot if you didn't specify what exactly you need out of this ocean, you will be missed. So I think that one of the most important part is to define exactly what you are expecting, at least as a first or second phase out of the EPM. Then the second part is we have to plan and the structure and the cleanse and comply the data to match the requirement which we already looking for. So I think that's the most important challenges, and which you have to think about and to start working on. I hope I'm clear.
Thank you very much, Tamer. It was very insightful indeed. So one question, if I may, Tamer. I mean, if you, like it's been almost a year and we are at the tail end of this journey, basically. If you started this with all the lessons learned back in April 2022, if you were starting this from scratch, what things would you do differently? So, I mean, you talked about a lot of challenges, and we've been part of these challenges together. So what would you make different?
See, you have, again, data is the most important part. I'm always saying data is an oil. The oil of this decade right now is the data. So I think also on anything which we are talking, any application which we are implementing, EPM or others, but EPM specifically, because see, EPM is, I'm sorry to the word, and I think Henk will not like this word, but actually it's something like a sponging. It's the sponge of the whole data from the whole organization. So it's sponging everything across the organization to the top. And then EPM itself, it's taking this data and then blending and putting and structuring and putting on the right way where everybody can get use and see this data on the right way. So if you don't have the proper data structured, plan available, the data availability cleanse, so you will not get the proper output of what you expect from EPM. So I think that's the most challenging part. Everybody else may say that the most challenging part is the integration or integrating the integration with SAP or non-SAP applications, but I think that's not the challenge. The main challenge and the biggest challenge is the business process and the data. Both of them is the most important.
Absolutely. I don't know who said it, but there is this phrase, I like it a lot. I mean, culture eats strategy as breakfast, right? Sorry. So basically, when you embark into a transformation, I think people really should be mindful about the organizational culture, because these transformation projects bring a lot of change in, like, to the things people are accustomed to, and they'll be challenged. They'll be basically asked to do things differently. So
No,
I think
see,
from that perspective,
again, Alp, I'm sorry to disturb you, but again, it's
sure,
it's related to the realizing of what exactly you are expecting. So and such an application, if you're talking about EPM specifically as an application, since it's coming from the top, so the top is influencing this application or this platform. I'm sorry, this platform. So I think it's compulsory to everyone to use it and to work with. It's not something which is optional or something where somebody is going to work or not to work with. You have to use it like this. I think that's my concept, and that's the concept which we are, and you know this. We start implementing the same on here in Ducab specifically for EPM. EPM, we consider EPM same like Microsoft application. So it's Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. You don't have to do anything with Word and Excel. That's it. Use it as it is. If you have anything, write a comment. We will read it. We will upgrade it, and we will see how we can come back to you. But it is like this. You have to use it like this.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tamer. So I think with this, maybe we can turn to our participants and the audience. I mean, if anyone has any questions, maybe you can use the Q&A. You can raise hand. Ibrahim, maybe if you can help us in this, please. So Ducab was not the first and only solution that we have implemented on an SAP customer, but definitely they have been one of the most recent and one of the most complete solutions that we have implemented. So that's why Tamer's insights were absolutely essential, and thank you very much for your insights, Tamer. And Henk, thanks for your insights as well. I think you have given us a very clear path towards Oracle's coverage of EPM and how it compares to SAP offerings. So from a spaghetti of solutions into a cohesive like an EPM platform, I think that distinction was explained very well. Thank you very much. So there is one question. Let's have it. So Cyril asks, would you recommend building and implementing Oracle EPM later after adapting and polishing the transactional flows, ops versus accounting, finance, and articulating the analytical accounting, and why? Maybe Tamer, this question probably is for you. So I'll repeat the question. You're on mute, by the way, if you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's for me, I think. So I think no, I think it's not parking because if you park it, you'll not realize what exactly you want. You have to start the journey, and you have. But the only thing is, you don't start without understanding what exactly you are going to, what exactly you're looking for. So you need to go very deeply with Oracle to understand exactly what's the features and what's the capabilities of EPM. That's a very important part. I recommend everybody to go through it, and I think Oracle, they are doing this very good, and they are doing it in a very good manner. They have a very good team who can go through this one many times until your team, everybody related to the EPM or going to be integrated or going to be working with EPM will understand from finance, HR, supply chain. They will understand exactly the capability and the feature of EPM. And accordingly, here you have to stop and sit with your team and then understand what exactly you are going to implement, what exactly you are expecting out of EPM. When you set these expectations, then go back to Oracle, start evaluating the vendors and the partners, and whoever you find that this partner is good and recommended by Oracle themselves, you can start working with them. And then when you start working, you will realize what kind of data and what kind of cleansing and what kind of adjustment and what kind of details you have to go, because you cannot do everything because you don't know what you're going through. You don't know what kind of EPM going through. Yes, it's a long journey, It's not an easy journey. It's not, again, because many people, many people, they realize or they understand that EPM is just something like Power BI or something like data analysis or business analysis, business analytics application. It's not like this. It's not really reporting application. It's very comprehensive and very detailed and complex application where you have to study it very well before going through it.
Absolutely, and I would totally agree with you, Tamer. And in my career, I have found also this happening multiple times. I think Ducab is also one of them. So EPM, basically, when you start implementing an EPM solution, it helps you actually see where there are gaps within your current processes. I mean, you may have gaps in your S&OP processes, in accounting practices and processes, in supply chain practices and processes.
In costing,
exactly.
Yes. Yeah, you are very good. That's a very good point, Alp. Yes, actually, EPM helps us a lot to realize where we have the gaps in our data governance and data structure for what we already have here in Ducab. I mean, because when the sucking is happening, you find one gap, one area is empty, or one area is not structured well, or one area which is not having a proper data structure. So you have to go back and restructure this and work on it somehow. So yes, and most important part, you have to have a patient partner who can work with you in a patient way to absorb you. Yes, Alp is not that person, but anyhow, he's very good.
Yeah. And one more question. Sure. One more question. How many people in finance were involved? In which profiles, skills did you involve? So, Tamer, how many people from finance involved?
I think you understand. It's only 2 or 3. 2.
Right. I think 2 people, we must say, at full-time capacity, but I think overall, in the planning
overall, everybody is working. Yeah. Overall, everybody is working on this. But permanently, I think the FICO consultant from our side, and also the financial manager from finance, they are dedicated on this, and this is the most important player because they are the one who's working from the top of all the data. Everything is going through this financial gateway, let me say.
Right. Yeah, and I think every stream requires different skills. Obviously, financial consolidation requires definitely, financial consolidation knowledge, planning and budgeting. I think your FP&A team must involve. And HR is definitely part of the journey because every major EPM transformation has an HR element, and IT definitely is part.
It's amazing, actually. I mean the tool of EPM on the HR. I don't know the tool; it's amazing, or the team who works with us on this was amazing. But actually, the tool, the output which we already get out of the HR planning is something which I couldn't believe that it can happen. Yes, it happened before, but in Excel, manually, calculation outside. Now it's automatically happened according to the requirement, the sales requirement, the manufacturing requirement. Automatically, it's calculating and giving you what kind of human resource requirement you need. And accordingly, the HR department can say that out of 100 required, we already hire only 50, so we save to the company 50, which is also something can measure the capability and the work out of the HR. So it's a very good tool. I love it, actually.
Thank you, Tamer. One more question for you. What are your next steps on your enterprise performance management roadmap?
I mean, there's a lot of things already on the pipeline. So we are working right now. First of all, we have to stabilize. I mean, you have to take a break until everything should stabilize. Then the second phase definitely will be the simulation, the full simulation, the corporate simulation, which is going to give you if you are going to do any kind of simulation, if you're going to increase the sales, what kind of spend you have to do, all of this, I think that's the second part which we have to focus on and give it more time and more implementation, because simulation, it's something like if I increase what if then statement part.
Thank you. And I think in our journey, particularly, the next steps will be profitability and cost management and strategic modeling.
Profitability and cost management. That's something which is important.
Yeah. So those are the next steps. All right. I guess we are almost on time. I think these are all the questions. And I'd like to thank all the audience, all the participants, and all the panelists again. Thanks for sharing your insights, and thank you very much everyone for attending. And we wish to see you in another session in the future. Thank you very much. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.